No time like the present. Sorry, guys, I didn't realize that the sound was up. It was giving me weirdness. Anyway, here am I. Anyway, no time like the present to start to remember who you are and to really create that deep connection to Spirit and let Spirit be the guiding light even more than ever before. And so that's what we're doing here. Only over several Facebook Lives over the next few days. In fact, the next today, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. All right, so we're going to be doing these. And what I'm doing is I'm actually taking what I did in my Soaring with Spirit 2-day immersion retreat, and I'm just bringing it online here in this way. And so we're breaking it up into these 4 sessions, right? So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Eva Gregory, and one of my biggest passions is really helping those like you create that deeper connection to Spirit, to be able to apply your own divine guidance, to do whatever it is that you want in life, whether it's in your personal life, it's with your relationships, your health, your business, and especially now as we are, we're navigating this pandemic. Ultimately, what we all want, we want alignment. We want alignment to source, and that is what this is all about. It's about really understanding that you've always been connected. And now it's going to be becoming more aware of it. I'm still having a sound issue on my side, guys. Hey, Christy, hey, Crystal, hey, Ayana, Alana, can you guys tell me if you can hear me okay? I'm looking here because that's where I see you popping in. If you could let me know, there's something going on with my sound. All right, let me see. Bear with me here. Hey, Alana, can you hear me okay? I'm just moving my, I'm going to move my microphone. Okay, perfect. Phew, thank you. Thank you. All right, well, good to see you. All right, so this is the story, Morning Glories. We just want alignment with our source. This is what it's all about. We've always had this connection, and now it's becoming even more conscious of it. And now we are being called to become more conscious of it, to call it in, to lean into our inner guidance and our source energy, and to do it very intentionally, very deliberately, very specifically. And so, okay, good. Thank you, Alana. Great. I had to move the microphone. Anyways, this is what this Facebook Live series is about. And really, the bottom line of all my work, even though I do work with spiritual entrepreneurs to help them grow healthy, sustainable businesses, underneath everything I do, it's got to be with this connection to Spirit first. Because without that, we are really running on half a cylinder. And it doesn't work if you don't bring the fullness of who you are to everything that you do. And that means that our spirituality, our connection to Source, that has to be brought into every area of our life. This is how we bring ourselves more fully into everything that we do. And so that's really me in a nutshell and what I'm about. And if you want to know more about me, you can check out evagregory.com, but I don't want to spend a lot of time on that. But I do want to talk about my reasons for doing this series. And it's to really look at how can we go even deeper. No matter where you are in your connection to Spirit, no matter where you are, there's no limit to where we can go. And there's always a place for us to take it even deeper. And no time like the present, really, to be amping up our connection to Source. That desire that you have to be able to enjoy a conscious connection to Spirit and to rise above the illusion of separation is within all of us. And you might be feeling that more than ever right now. And we're all on, it's all part of the path that we're on, okay? We're part of this path towards greater conscious awareness. There's been so much desire that has erupted from this current situation that we find ourselves in. And one of the things I always want to remind folks is that if you've got a desire for something, you absolutely have the ability to create it. You have the ability to experience it in spite of anything that's going on. And a lot of the times when you are wanting something and you haven't been able to acquire it or able to experience it, it's just that you might need a little bit of shifting up of your energy, a shifting of your vibration. And that's what the Soaring with Spirit series here is all about. And my guides, Theos, will be here. They're going to be helping us with that, to work through it. We all have our own path of least resistance, and it look very different for different people. But we are being encouraged to be open to that path, whatever that is for you, as they take us through the journey and the processes that will allow us to access our guidance in the easiest possible way for you, because it's all here and we've got it. And it is available to every single one of us right here, right now. It is within you. And I just want you to know that there are folks from all over the world taking this journey together, many from this work I've been doing for many years now. Some of them are just coming on. We've got other programs I've been working with Theos on over this year. And now we're going to do it right here through Soaring with Spirit. And so you all have the opportunity to join us as well, whether you're catching this live or you're catching this on the replay. Hello, Doug Severe, hello. Gemma, Sally Leathers, Diana, hello. So good to see you guys. And I see the feed is over here, so that's why I'm looking over here when I see you guys scrolling in. So cool, so very cool. So, we've got casts of thousands of non-physical beings around us. And we have all these amazing energies, our guides, our higher self, whatever source energy, all of it is extension of source energy. We are extensions of source energy. But there are so many non-physical beings that are around us. And it's kind of like this non-physical party going on, right? This big celebration for the things that they see that we're coming together to do. So in spite of what is going on right now, there's actually goodness wanting to be born. That's what's happening right now. All of this is coming together because there's something greater wanting to be born. And boy, is it ever. And yes, there is light at the end of the tunnel. It might, from looking out on the outside, may look like it's going to get worse before it gets better. But I promise you, it's all goodness that's coming out of this. And so as we go through this series together, I just want to invite you to come with an open heart and come with patience and and kindness for yourself and for others, especially now. And to come with an intention, to slow down and come with whatever your intention is. And we're going to do that more powerfully as we bring ourselves into present moment awareness. And I would also invite you to come with curiosity over judgment and readiness to receive. Be open to receive. Also, bring your loving hearts and your energy, which I love. Hey, Lori. Oh, my gosh. So good to see you. Wow. Seeing so many awesome, loving people I haven't seen in a while. So bottom line with all of this is to be willing to really move slowly and with intention over these days to come. And it's going to be a practice in being right here, right now. And leaving everything that has come up to this point, leaving it all behind, forgetting about what's coming in the future, and understanding that we have to focus on present moment. This is where all our power lies, and you've probably heard that over and over and over again. But the more present we can be, the more powerful we can be, and the more powerful we can create. And that's what we're here to do. And this is how we create even greater things in our lives. And to come with, the less of worry. I know we all do it, and it sounds crazy, but there's absolutely no redeeming value in worry. It's amazing we do so much of it. But present moment awareness, this is where we really open ourselves to spirit. Hello, Marissa. Welcome. Loving you, Laurie. Oh, my God. Love this so much. So just be coming with curiosity. Just be open and be curious, almost like a kid, about what do you want to create? What do you want to experience, even now, especially now? And not be attached to something has to happen or it has to look a certain way. That will always trip us up. But to really be ready to receive And this is about creating an opening for you to receive. And of course, to bring your lightness and your love and your joy to your day, to yourself, and of course to others right now. And to find the time and allow yourself to be in a quiet space that is away from your mind. We're going to live in the heart and in communication with non-physical energy, that energy of spirit and source, in your guidance, your guides, whatever it is that you tap into. Intentions are powerful. And intentions are powerful for getting aligned and certainly for creating what you want. And what I would love to see in the comments is, what is one intention you want to hold right now, especially while we're here on this Soaring with Spirit series right here. What would be one intention you want for yourself? So good to see you guys. I know for my intention is transformation over information. And that's always been, whether it's right now or whether it's in any of the programs that I teach, it's all about transformation and less about information. So even though I'm going to be sharing a lot here, I'm wanting you to energetically take it in. And of course, as we get taken on these journeys, to really be open to the experience and what is going to be coming out of that. So I want it to be a sacred space here, and I do invite you to be here fully present and to be open to amazing shifts, unexpected changes, and just be open to spirit and just be here right now. Present moment awareness. Oh my gosh. Present moment awareness. If we can start practicing more and more and more. Present moment awareness, moment to moment. And I'm going to be sharing some techniques and things we can do to start practicing dropping into present moment more fully as we're moving forward. Hey, Julianne, so good to see you. Diana, deepen connection and clarity. Awesome. I love that. So some of you might be new to the idea of inner guidance. Others of you have probably been practicing it for years and years and years now. And so what I want to do is I want to share the four, what I call the basic inner guidance superpowers. And by the way, I don't know, I'll have to, if you haven't taken the inner guidance superpower quiz, I don't think I put it on the link before I got started. I will put a link at the top of this at the end. I encourage you to go take it. The quiz is to help you find out what is the most natural way that you access your guidance. If you did take the quiz, I would love for you to post what your top superpower is in the comments below. It'll be really interesting to see who's here. Yes, absolutely. Transformation over information every day. So, and then after I share with you if you haven't taken the quiz, as I talk about the traits of the four inner guidance superpowers, you will probably have an idea of which one you are. And then we'll move into our focus very specifically to learning how to ask inner guidance for what you want. And be open to not only the answers, but that vibrational alignment to receiving what you're asking from Spirit. So, yes, Diana, I did put it out earlier. I also meant to put the link out right here as I went live, which I did not do, but I will after the fact. All right. So, also what I'd like to know too is what do you need to let go of in order to allow in more of your connection to Spirit more fully? Is there something that's gotten in your way over time or maybe right now? You want to be looking at what's the thing that you're just going to surrender to release, to let go of. Sometimes it's the attachment for things having to come out a certain way. Inner guidance, our higher selves, they're the 400 million foot level. They're sitting down in the trenches, and a lot of times we don't know, we can't see what they can, which is, up in the quantum field, it's infinite possibilities and probabilities, and from our human conscious awareness, there's no way we could possibly know all the way things can happen. And so it kind when we're attached to what it has to look like, we're kind of trying to micromanage source energy. Not a very powerful place to be. So that might be something that you would want to let go of. Similar is that having, being attached to the way it looks like, what it looks like. Or, God, I can't think of any really good examples right now. Diana, busy mind, busy schedule. Oh, Alana, great one. My ego domination. Yeah, there you go. Great example. I think we've all got that one. Got to let that go. All right, and Diane, so you're transcendent spirituality. Okay, perfect. Awesome. Hey, Lucia, good to see you. All right, busy mind, busy schedule. You giving me that funny look icon, Diane. So this is what we want to do. We just want to set our intention for what we want, and then what are the things we're willing to let go of. And it's going to be important for you to acknowledge what you are ready to receive more fully as well. Because what's going to happen here is we're making room for more in your life, more joy, more love, more compassion, more heart, more bliss, more connection to spirit. And that broader, wiser, all-knowing you only wants what we want. I have to say that a lot of times we want, I want God's will. And what I have learned is that what we want, our core desires, our true desires, it comes from the fullness of who we are. That's what source energy wants for us. It wants what we want. It wants what we want. And so, just being clear on what that is and having it show up. Here's a great intention to hold. To have it show up beyond your wildest expectation. So I'll give you that one as well. So let us start by looking at inner guidance and those 4 most natural pathways. That's what we're doing here with the 4 inner guidance superpowers. We want to know what is the one that's the easiest way that you get your guidance, okay? And in all 4 cases, your goal to accessing guidance is to get your mind, body, and soul into a very peaceful, meditative state to connect in all of these. All right. Even in your meditative state, you're still aware. You're still aware. And so you want to be aware of the information as it's coming through. And it can come in a lot of different ways. So when I say the information comes through when we learn how to access our guidance, I'm talking about it could come like this came at 3 a.m. and they said, divine timing to be doing Soaring with Spirit, take it to the Facebook Lives. Okay, that's what we'll do. Right? It could come like that. But you also can get sensations, or you can get a little bit of guidance. You'll just get an inspiration to do something. And so then you'll move and take that inspirational step, and then the next thing gets revealed. So and most of the time, by the way, that's how guidance comes. You don't get everything, just one big download of everything from A to Z. Not normally. So that's what you want to be open to right now. What else does it look like? Hey, Iris. Hey, Kevin. So good to see you. So so what we're going to let go of, what are we ready to be open to receive, what do you want to make more room in your life, and then also what is your easiest way of accessing your guidance. Anything that, if you get physical sensations, you might get visions, you might get pictures in your mind, you could get like a song could come through, or a symbol might come through. It just depends on, we all access it differently. And by the way, we also access it in many ways. So it's not just one way. There's just one that's probably the easiest. And I always encourage you to start with the thing that's easiest because it's easy. And then you do it and you get the experience and it's fun. And then you can go off and start to be aware of all the other ways that you're bringing it in, right? Hey, Lori, 97% creating heaven on earth, physical, right? 95% spiritual transcendence. You're very high. You're very high in all of them. That's not unusual either. 90% transcendental and then 80% divine knowing. Awesome. And some of you might have 2 that are equal. don't be surprised. Some of you will have one that's really high, and the other three will be not quite as high. So it varies. It varies all over the board. So all that means, and by the way, there's no, one's not better than the other any more than red is better than blue is better than green is better than yellow. Okay, they're just different ways that we access our guidance, and we all have all four. Clearly we do, and all the levels, like these are big umbrella four, right? And all these infinite different levels of how we get our guidance in between all that. But that's just, we just want to know what is your easiest way that you're bringing it in. And inspiration, of course, anytime you're getting inspiration, you're being guided. Inspiration means in spirit. It is coming through spirit. And there are as many ways of accessing the information as there are individuals on earth, really. But all of them are under these four basic umbrellas that I call the four inner guidance superpowers. And you can practice, you can get stronger in any of them and all of them, the more that you just decide to play with them, which is fun, totally fun. But it does take practice. It takes some consistency. All right, so your goal is to get your mind, body, and soul into a peaceful meditative state. And in that state, you are literally opening the channel through which your guidance comes. It happens a lot of times when you are in a light hypnotic trance. So when are we in a trance like that? We're in a trance like that when we're watching television or watching a movie. When you're going on a long drive, you can get into that hypnotic stance, right? That's all we need. You don't need to be, it doesn't have to go super deep. Thank goodness we don't need to be meditating on mountaintops for years. The frequency's so high now that this is why we all have all of us actually have easier access than ever before. It's not just for a few special people, it is for all of us. We are wide open. Sometimes when jogging, I used to do lots of long jogs, like 10, 11-mile jogs, totally in a meditation state, that hypnotic state, right? So that's what I'm talking about, just with that very light trance. It doesn't have to be much. And that's what this is going to be involving as we go through this process. It's just that very light trance meditative state. The great news about this is that communicating with our inner guidance and spirit it's like riding a bicycle. Once you get used to it and once you find your natural way of doing it and you keep using it, you don't lose the ability. Like, we've all had it. A lot of people don't know they have it until they try it. But hopefully it's going to happen over these next 4 days. But you've got it. And then once you know, you know. All right? And you don't lose the ability. You don't ever lose the ability. Now, what can happen is that you go back into your old modes of operation and the way things have been, and you're not actually deliberately accessing your guidance. And so, of course, if we don't use it, why would we not want to do that? Well, because we're habitual characters, and so it might take a while to get used to. But that's the only way. But you don't lose the ability. It's always there. You always have the ability to use it. And once you do, bottom line, I hope that what you'll all find is that it's simple, it's easy, it's straightforward. You don't have to do a lot of convoluted things to be able to bring the energy in. There's chanting is great, although you don't need to do that. It's one of the ways you can. You don't need to have mantras, but mantras are one way of bringing yourself into that space. You don't have to sit in any special position. There's none of that. You don't have to have candles lit, although having candles lit is a very nice way of getting yourself into that space. It's really just as simple as, first of all, setting the intention, and then sitting down, breathing, getting into present moment, asking, and receiving. The real work is releasing the doubt. This is what I work with folks on more than anything else. It's releasing the doubt and just getting out of your own way, basically. That's like, but whoa, was that really guidance? That kind of thing is always going on. Or it will come through and then you don't want to take steps on it because you're like, is that really, should I be doing this? I'll tell you something else that happens to, and it's happened to me. I've actually gotten guidance, and even though it was like, oh God, I can't do that. I can't do that. And what happens is that means mindset has overrun your guidance. Limited mindset can actually overrun your inner guidance. Ooh, I need to make a note. Could somebody do me a favor? Put in the comments mindset mastery. So I remember, I want to make sure that we cover that, not today, but over the next 4 days. If you could just put mindset mastery in the comments, that'll hashtag mindset mastery. Hey, Arthur, welcome. That would be awesome. Okay, so yeah, so that's the big work. It's we got to get rid of the doubt. You got to get out of your own way, and that's what we're going to be working on over the next few days. All right, but this is permanent. You know, it is permanent. You don't ever lose it, ever. We've all had it. Many people just didn't know they had it, right? And so now what's happening is we're creating that opening so that you understand that you now know that you have it. And once you've learned to connect and access that guidance, now you have access to that information. You've got access to that creativity in you. You've got access to that support. Unless you stop asking, like I said, if we go back to our old modes of operation, then of course it's always there. Are we open to receiving it, right? Thank you. Oh, good. I think that'll help me remember. Thank you, ladies. Okay. So there is this quote. You've probably all heard it. Imagination is more important than knowledge. That was Einstein. Imagination literally is the portal. It is the way that spirit communicates with us. And so with your imagination, this is what we're going to ask you to open up your portal to your imagination and just let whatever wants to come through. And when I'm working with people and bringing in their guides, a lot of times they'll say, but did I just make that up? Was that real, or did I just make that up? Okay, and so once again, that's some of the things we're going to work on. But your imagination, be willing to be open to whatever your imagination wants to bring through, okay? And do not ever discount your imagination. Don't ever discount it. So you're going to be invited here to open up and to play big time through your imagination, because that is the portal through which your guide comes. The reality that we see, we think the imagination is not real, but this reality around us, that's the illusion. That's the illusion. And the value is in the imagination and intuition and in inner guidance, right? So, of course, Einstein was well ahead of his time, as we all know. And by the way, for those who are curious, inner guidance superpower, Einstein's inner guidance superpower is divine knowing. So those of you who, if you've taken the quiz, you scored high in divine knowing, just know you're in good company. I have a hair that's driving me crazy here. Woo. Hey, Kara. All right. So within the 4 inner guidance superpowers, there are 5 meta senses. Okay, there's 5 meta senses, and they actually connect with our physical senses. So for sight, it's clairvoyance. Clairvoyance, that's the meta sense that we have, and some of you will be stronger in some than others. Okay, clairaudience is sound. So that's a meta sense, sound. If you can envision things you see, either you get pictures or symbols. It's interesting because I have a lot of that, like when you're going through guided meditations, if you get the picture, you're clairvoyant, or can be. For me, isn't this interesting? So many people, they have this picture of their guides once they connect it. I have absolutely no picture, no idea what they look like. I have no image at all. It's all through feeling, which is clairsentience. I'm very clairsentience. So that's feeling. So we got clairvoyance, which is sight, clairaudience, which is sound, clairsentience, which is feeling, emotion. One that's not as, the last two are not as prominent, clairambience, which is smell. I have had that experience where I have smelled something and then there was nothing in the room. And then clairalience is taste, like if you taste something. So we might be able to experience all of these medicines, gravitate more naturally to one or two more clearly than the others. And so just notice what those are for you. And that's a level where your intuition works. All right. And working with your intuition in conjunction with the metasenses, these are we call them channels, metasense channels. This is what's going to allow the highest level of your inner guidance to come through. So the more that we can access our higher selves, our inner guidance, the clearer the channels become. And so that's why you want to become sensitive to which of those seems to be your strongest, right? So once again, clairvoyance is sight, so you can envision something. The difference is if I said to close your eyes and see an image of your car, okay, and you can see it, if you can see it, all right, so you have that vision. The difference is that you're told what the vision is, the vision just comes to you when you're in meditative state, if you're asking for guidance on something. So that's the difference. You're not making it happen. The images are just showing up for you. So that's clairvoyance. Clairaudience, that sound, and it might be sound that you hear in your mind, like your inner ear. So if you can hear sounds, that's clairaudience. Now, there's a couple of ways that clairaudience works. Certainly, if you've ever had a song run around in your mind, especially if you can't get rid of it, okay, so you're hearing, right? That's clairaudience. And sometimes it can sound like my example is that I was working in my office by myself, and just as clear as a bell, I heard, "Eva." Nobody was here. And that sounded like it was coming from my outer ear, not my inner ear. So that can happen as well. I've had that happen very rarely, but it has happened, where got my attention for sure. So that's clairaudience. Clairsentience is feeling. This is your emotional guidance right there. Almost all of us have an emotional guidance at some level. So we all are clairsentient. It's just that some are more obvious than others. But you always want to learn how to tap into your emotional guidance system. That is through feeling. And then clairambience. Clairambience is smell, all right? And it is not as prevalent. I have, on occasion, smelt things that were not around. I'll never forget, I was working out with my personal trainer, and I was smelling incense. And I just assumed he was burning incense. And then we went outside to do some workout. I could still smell the incense. I'm like, oh, this is weird. Then I went home, and I could still smell the incense. And then I knew that there was energy around me, guides around me. And by the way, anytime any of this stuff happens, what I recommend you do, if you can, just stop in the moment and get quiet and get into present moment and just ask, what's the most important thing for me to know right now? That's one question you can ask. And so so there you go, clairambience, sorry. And then the even less prevalent is clairalience, and that is taste. But it still can happen. So if there's a taste, if you get a taste in your mouth and you know that you aren't eating that, or you don't have something physical in your mouth, then you have clairalience. All right. So those are the metasenses. They correspond to our physical senses, and when we're working with intuition in conjunction with these metasense channels, that's when we allow the highest of our guidance, the highest possible level of guidance, our inner guidance. And of course, then the clearer those channels are, the clearer they are, the easier that you can access guidance through your superpower, whatever your particular inner guidance superpower is. So here are the inner guidance superpowers. Now I'm just going to, even if you haven't taken the quiz, I'm going to kind of explain what some of the characteristics are. You may not have all the characteristics. You may actually have some characteristics in every single one of these, as we all do. So you can be listening in for that. And then if you're not sure which one is the strongest for you, then, and you haven't taken the quiz, I encourage you to go back and take that. All right. So we'll start with transcendental love. Iris. Christine is very strong with you. Very cool. Okay. So let's start with transcendental love. So transcendental love means that's the emotional guidance, right? It's really strong. We all have emotional guidance, but for you, transcendental love, it's very strong for me. That's where our guidance comes primarily through our feelings and our emotions. We feel our desires pretty intensely. And of course, then that path is one of the heart. Okay. And so your business, if you have a business, it's usually one where you have a passion for deep connection and service to others. Leading a purpose-driven life is pretty important for those who have transcendental love as their main source of guidance. But we're looking for that deeper connection, not just for like our friends or a deeper connection with our clients, but we're looking for that deeper connection even with our source energy, all that is, whatever that name is that you call it. And it could also be having a deep connection with another, like your significant other, as an example, or what a lot of times we call our soulmates. All the superpowers experience this one degree or another, because our emotional guidance system is our inner guidance at the most fundamental level. But those who score higher in this, the desires are a little more intense for us, shall I say. Oh, Lori, that's too bad. I see that your connection is going in and out. Let me just double check to make sure. Can the rest of you hear? Is it everybody going in and out, or is it just Lori? Let me know in the comments if you can still hear me. Okay. All right. So the way this gets reflected for us in business is that you are in the helping or the healing businesses, coaching, healing, holistic practitioners. We're the giving types, right? We're the nurturers. And you put yourself out in the world, and at the same time, and this is kind of a flip of it, hear great. Thank you, Diana. Good to hear. But with this one, it just means that we have it's so strong. It's so strong within us, and so and that means that we are more sensitive as well. So very sensitive. You pick up on other people's energy, as an example. Thank you, Alona. Good to know. We can all hear. Oh, Marissa. Okay. Well, I'm saying the intention. Okay, guidance. Come in and soothe this energy. Let's get a clear channel here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. So just know that if you you have some sensitivity, like that you pick up on others' energy, that there's this place where we have to really balance. And that sensitivity, it just means you can feel the emotions of others, and it can arouse strong emotions within yourself, both positively and negatively. So it might evoke a strong sense of devotion or caring that comes through you. But on the flip side, sometimes you can find yourself confused, like as to why someone feels a certain way to you, feels wonky or off, or you might be really shocked, surprised by somebody else's reaction. So just know we're prone to feeling very strong, unexplained feelings sometimes. And another way that it shows up is that you can feel overwhelmed. Like you could feel overwhelmed by walking into an event or a crowd of people, as an example. And another way, and sometimes it's not about any event. or any crowd of people. Sometimes it's about a specific one. So for me, there is a particular department store that I cannot go into. The energy is, to me, it's extremely depressing, and it's like, phew, I just don't even go in. So that's the kind of thing that I'm talking about. So pay attention, okay, over the next few days as we're going through this series. Pay attention to how you're feeling as you're moving around. Of course, we're not moving around too much right now since we are in place at home, but just pay attention to that. Quick tip, by the way, for those of you who have these kinds of unexplained feelings, anytime you have a negative emotion or a feeling that shows up and you are not sure what it is, there's two questions that you can ask. One is, who do you belong to? All right, who do you belong to? And the other question that I ask is, are you from the light? So any of you sensitive types out there, if you have you unexplained emotions and no reason to be feeling that way, those are your two questions to ask. Who do you belong to? Are you from the light? And if it's not your own energy, you're going to feel it dissipate pretty quickly. I remember a couple of years ago at a retreat for my inner sanctum program, there was someone there who didn't sleep. We got up the next day and she said, I couldn't sleep last night. I had all this discomfort and this fear was coming up for no apparent reason. She was waking up at night and just this resistance was in her and she couldn't understand where it was coming from. And so we just sat down and I asked her those two questions: who do you belong to, and are you from the light? Just immediately dissipated. So yeah, we can bring that stuff in, us sensitive types. I'll give you something else you can all do. This is really powerful for us all to be doing right now anyway. And that is, as you're thinking about others or you're thinking about what's going on in the world right now, rather than bringing that negative energy in, it can sap us. It can drain our energy. Is just to envision a ball of light around you and radiating out that ball of love. And what happens is you are now uplifting the rest of the world rather than getting sucked in to the fear and the anxiety that might be going on right now. So that's actually for all of us, not just sensitive types. It's a very powerful process. So if anything's coming up for you guys, those two questions, I'll try that next time and see if it doesn't debate. On the flip side, you also can have some really amazing energy show up, love and bliss, and goodness. We want to get rid of that, right? But once you're aware of what's happening, this is my biggest thing for you. It's just easier for you to understand what's going on, and you're now able to learn how to work with that unpredictable feeling. So that way, when you understand that's what's going on, it's easy to bring yourself back to center instead of getting emotionally bogged down in it. Hey, Amy, so good to see you. All right. So once you are aware, okay, so you've got this energy that's coming in and you realize it's not yours, that is, once again, that's the time to put your focus on radiating love and compassion back out to whatever's going on out there. We don't have to know who it's for. You don't need to know anything. You just need to know that it's being called for. Someone is crying for it. Energetically, it's being called for. And more than any of the other superpowers, this is the one where you really do need to learn how to discern your own emotional energy from the emotions of other outside sources, and just recognize that you are not your feelings. That's where we get guidance. Feelings. Your heart-centeredness is the doorway to that broader, all-knowing, wiser you. This is the connection we have. And one of the things that Theos has been sharing with for years now, really, but has been sharing is that we are moving to that place where the more that we connect with our inner guidance, the more we blend and merge with the fullness of who we are, that we have an opportunity to begin to live from that perspective while we're still here in the earth plane. That we start to see things, we have more compassion and understanding. There's less judgment. we see, it's almost like we see things through the eyes of our higher self. And that's where, believe it or not, that's what we're moving into. Doesn't look like it in the moment, but that's what we're moving into. And to have, regardless of, and it doesn't mean we won't have ups and downs. Sorry, hate to burst that bubble. But what it does mean is that you can live from a perspective that regardless of the ups and downs in our lives, that we can experience peace and compassion and love. And so it's almost like, okay, this just happened. There's a message in this for me, and then we move on. It doesn't take us down, and we don't get into those deep, dark places. It's like, oh, okay, thank you for sharing, and now and keep moving, right? Hey, Linda. Hey, so good to see you guys. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. So good to see you. Okay. So now we move on to divine knowing. Divine knowing is mental, all right? This is, it's divine knowing. It is still not you in your brain, not up in your head trying to figure things out. It's coming from way beyond that, okay? But you do experience your guidance primarily through thought and through ideas. So if that's you, then if you haven't taken the quiz and you feel like, oh, yeah, that's me, I get a lot through thought and ideas that come to me. This is you have a really strong superpower through divine knowing. For you, this is for all of us, but some are more amped than others, have a regular meditation practice. Because what happens is, for you, our mind's got the monkey mind going all the time. So how do you discern that from the divine knowing that's coming in, the inner guidance that's coming in for you? And so that's why the meditation practice is so important, so that you quiet your mind, because this is how you are able to discern inner guidance from the thousands of thoughts that constantly flood our minds and that monkey mind. Just become more aware. This is just one of the things for you to do. Just become more aware of what's coming into your mind. I will say also that if you have divine knowing, you're one of those you're so curious. You want to learn. You want to know how something works. You want to understand it. So it's going to come through like thought. It will come through impressions. You'll get through asking, like, what's my truth? But it's just know that it's coming up here, but it's not your brain or your mind. All right. You're probably the divine knowing folks are interested in metaphysics. All of us can be, okay, but these is kind of a highlight for those with divine knowing. Philosophy, a lot of interested in philosophy, and of course spirituality. You can be interested in studying and talking about the nature of reality. That really turns you on. You're wanting to talk about evolution and creation. You want to know the depths of humanity and universal energy, those kinds of things. You might be attracted to things like astrology or numerology, those kinds of things. Those come from, they're highlighted more. Again, everything I'm explaining, we all can have access and this can be interest, but it's a strong one for those who have divine knowing. The interesting thing with the divine knowing is you're also, which is not even it's not a spiritually kind of thing, but you're very systems oriented, more oriented than the rest of us. And you do have, you can intuit logic, if that even makes sense. But yeah, I don't even know how to explain that, but there is this, the logic is just, it's just natural with you. Divine knowing is my low one, I'll tell you that right now. But you can see the wholeness in something, and you might even like to research, like you like to research data, you want to see the evidence that supports it. So the ability to see how science and spirituality come together would be a big thing for you, to be able to say, okay, yes, this makes sense, because now we can see it through the perspective of science as well as through spirituality. The biggest issue for you is you'll be aware of your thoughts and your thinking, and you've got to get discerning about which are your thoughts, the ego thinking, or what I call the gremlin, and which is your guidance. So it takes a little bit of, just being in that present moment and allowing it to come through. Part of the gifts that you bring is that you actually inspire us, the rest of us, towards improving our conditions, whether that's personally, whether it's locally, whether it's globally, that is important to you. And that's part of the part you play in our game of life down here on Earth. So you might be interested in medical and scientific improvement and discoveries. You also inspire the rest of us, like when I'm working with someone or playing with someone with that high level of divine knowing, I want to understand. It's like, I want to know the higher levels of consciousness, the way you're looking at it. I want to understand how the science supports the spirituality supports the science. To me, it's fascinating, but it wasn't something that I was always curious about until I started hanging out with some of these divine knowing guys. So you are also the ideas that you do, because you are an idea machine. You will be able to bring in physical form, and the idea that you have, they are infused with the energy of the divine. And by the way, if you have like transcendental love as well as divine, oh my God, you take those ideas and they're infused with the energy of the transcendental love superpower. Whew, that's when magic happens. It's magic in all of them, but just magic happens. It literally changes the world. Hey, Karina Rowley, so good to see you. Okay, let's talk about Earth, creating heaven on Earth. Your physical, okay? The way you bring your guidance is more physical. It means it's your guidance is experienced primarily through the tangible world and your physical sensation. You connect through Mother Earth. You have a deep connection for Mother Earth, more so than the other three superpowers. So that it comes from the elements of earth, wind, fire, and water, or earth, air, fire, and water. It's wind or air. Sometimes that's interchangeable. You also are you are the caretakers of Earth. You really are. You see the divine in all of what physical, in other words, creatures great and small, you see the divine in that. You are the ones who they have that mission to save the planet or the oceans or the environment or the animals. You definitely have a strong creating heaven on earth, channel for the guidance that comes through you. And one of the things that's great about you is kind of like Mother Earth, like you're the mother, not whether you're the father or the mother, however you'd look at it, but it's like you are our mother, father. You are, and that's why, because you can see the divine in all of us, you are actually able to help others see it in themselves. It's a very strong power for those of you who are creating heaven on earth. And that can be reflected in the type of work you do as well. If you scored highest on spiritual transcendence, and I'll talk about that in just a minute, you tend to look for what's beyond our physical reality, and that's me, spiritual transcendence. What's beyond? What's in the higher realms? If you're creating heaven on earth, you're the exact opposite. You're like, hey, there's nowhere to go. Literally, we're creating our heaven on earth here. There's nowhere else to go. We can experience everything that we want to experience. Right, everything we want is right here where we are, and that's one of your gifts, by the way. Your gift is to help us understand that we can connect spiritually right here in the physical world. So your most natural channel is through your physical senses. So if you go back to the meta senses, and you can have that. You get sounds. You can pick up on those meta senses more clearly than the rest of us. because of this, in other words, the taste, sight, sound, touch, or feeling, all of that is very clear. You can get inner guidance through all of that. But for you, what that means is it can be challenging. It can be challenging for you to be able to trust that what you're getting is coming from the higher realms. Trying to think of an example of that. Oh, I don't know. It's just that you'll question it. You'll question it because it's not coming through that more grounded place. You want to what's a good way of putting this? You're wanting to create form from it. That's what it looks like. So when we're going up into the non-physical realms, and you're like wanting to create form. So you, by the way, might be someone who, when you connect with your guides are going to be spirit animals, or the Indian elders. That's the form that your guides would take shape in for you. Oh, what's another one? Anyway, I hope you get what I'm talking about. So with me, I have absolutely no form, no idea, no vision of theos, and yet I do have some folks who are creating heaven on earth, and they're like, that they have this sense of totem pole. That's another one comes through for people. Also are very entrenched in the Davidic world, like the nature spirits and sprites. Which I don't. I get nothing when it comes to that. I have a couple of friends who are very much into that, and it's fascinating. It's like, okay, whatever. I don't have it. But transformation that you are for is you are a catalyst, mostly by your energy, touch, any kind of nonverbal communication. That you're helping us, like you can bring us back into earth, bring us and our guidance and our spirituality into earth plane, into earth form. Indigenous people, by the way, on planet, they would be considered, they're probably strongest suit would be creating heaven on earth. Okay, and then there's spiritual transcendence, and that means that you primarily get guidance through images and visuals. And so you are your gift to the rest of us. Whatever your strengths are, we all have what we bring to the table for the others. And yours is you're helping the rest of us learn how to rise above the commonplace, to rise above whatever's happening like right now. You have a really good, it's just part energetically, part of what you're here to do is to uplift those who are feeling in separation and fear and anxiety. And you give hope. So that is part of the powers that you have. And unlike creating heaven on earth, we're like, there's nowhere to go. Right here, we don't need to go anywhere to be able to access this. Those of us in spiritual transcendence, it's like we yearn to get beyond the time, physical, space reality, And so I want to be in those realms. I love being in that. And you're like, it's right here. What are you looking for? You are also aware of your non-physical guides and angels and other energies. Those of us in spiritual transcendence, you can really tap into that and feel it. You are the ones who feel that you are in this world but not of it. Any of you felt that way? That would be a tendency of yours. I remember a friend of mine who was always yearning. She says, I don't feel at home here. I'm not at home here. I just want to go back home. And she meant back into non-physical. Now, she wasn't suicidal, not like that, but she was just like, I don't belong here. I'm supposed to be in the higher realms. And so she was really strong with this particular superpower. So you might feel like, well, I'm visiting here. This is temporary, but this isn't my true home. That would be one of the ways that it shows itself through you. Hey, Stephanie. Hey, Nicola. Hey, good to see you here. Awesome. All right. One of the good things about spiritual transcendence is that you're really good at living in the present moment. Or if you happen to be just discovering this as one of your superpowers, and if you have not been living in the present, then you're going to find that life gets a lot easier when you do. And so your work is to practice bringing yourself back into the present moment in order to access your guidance most easily. Now, clearly for all of us, bringing ourselves back to the present moment is one of the best things we can do. Once again, there are most within each of these superpowers. Yes, Diana. Transcendent spirituality and divine knowing. Wowie zowie. Your main ones. Yep. Feels temporary. Yeah. So, one of the things about spiritual transcendence, you guys, and me, because it's me too, is it's easy for us to shift into those higher vibrational frequencies. We are not down for long. It's easy for us to bounce back up into our joy and our connection and our happiness and our contentment. It's just the way it is. And that's our quest, right? Our quest is, I want to be in that place. I want to know myself more fully. I want to know what is truth with a capital T. That's one of the things that we're always striving for. If you have spiritual transcendence, it could be, unlike our divine knowing people who are very much with systems oriented and logical. We are not so much, right? So we might find daily routines or structure is a little bit of a challenge, just a little bit of a challenge for us. We can lose time a lot of times. Don't necessarily like structure and systems. It might be something that you rebel against because you bask in this space of freedom and of being able to go with the flow, right? You might be one that, you might tend to be late because, getting structured and having to be out the door in a certain time is just not who you are, right? But it's serving you. I just want you to know that it's actually serving you. So as we judge others, she's so regimented, why does she have to be there? And it's like, yeah, we'll get there, it'll be fine. To start to understand each other, of course, makes it a lot easier too. But that's just one of the traits that can be for you if you have spiritual transcendence as a really strong superpower. One of your strongest values, one of my top values, is freedom. Fully, I need to be free. Free. And for me, freedom means space. Well, not just space to move, but I need space. I need space to be in, and I need space between calls, and I need space in my days and my weeks and my months, right? So just notice what it is for you. And the other thing too around spiritual transcendence people, I'm not quite sure, I don't remember. I'll have to go back and which one of the others is opposite. But we are not as attached to physical things. Like, we don't hold that sentimental value. That's the way I would put it. So, for example, I remember that when I was first born, my father's mother bought a piano and said that I was going to learn how to play, and she bought me a Steinway when I was born. And sure enough, I learned how to play the piano, and it was on that one. And then when I moved to California, I came from Georgia, I left my piano. And there were some people thinking, how could you do that? How could you leave this? That's a sentimental value, or antiques that have been passed down. I just don't feel attached to things like that. And so those of you who that's important to think I'm crazy, and yeah, well, that's the way it goes, right? And formlessness. So the other thing, I'm interested to know from some of you who know what your powers are, it's true, but for me, formlessness is my thing, right? Dream state is my thing. The artwork and stuff I like, abstract, right? Although I absolutely love and adore all kinds of art, but that's going to be what I gravitate to. So it's that experience of the formlessness tends to be something that is the way it is for me. Also, for those of you, if in dream state, that's another place where you get guidance. And pay attention to that. If there are any of you remember your dreams, let me just say something right now. Even if you don't remember your dreams, or you wake up, or you might have had a dream and you forget it, it's great if you remember and can track what's going on. It's a fun way to pick up on a guidance. But the biggest thing you want to tap into is, what was the essence when you woke up? How did you feel? And so if you feel like calm or happy or at peace, then there's some goodness going on in your dreams, in your dream state, and some guidance that was coming through for it. And so if that's true, then just ask when you go into your meditative state each day. Hopefully you'll be doing this each day, hopefully if not now. And you'll just ask, so what was the guidance that was coming through? Because you got the essence of it, now you want clarity about what more it is. Okay. Yes, I think that's pretty much it about that. And so just notice there are probably aspects from all four of these that I shared with you. By the way, if you would, I have a document that has all of the superpower explanation on it, and it also has the 5 medicines in it. If you would like that document, put hashtag superpower in the comments, and then I will make sure you get that document. Because I think when you go back and look at them, if you take the quiz, you'll have a very short description of each of them. But if you'd like the long version of it, just put hashtag superpower. Yeah, hashtag superpower, and I'll know that you want superpower document. Okay, let me get some water here, or my green drink. And what I want to do right now is, I actually want to bring my guides in. I want to bring Theos in, and they're going to take us through a journey, okay? And this journey start to activate or deepen your connection to your inner guidance. And when we understand who we are more fully, and we are the guidance that is coming through us, and we are clear about it, because a lot of the time we're getting guidance all the time, and most of the time we're missing it when we don't get more sensitive to it, right? So just pay attention. So obviously I don't want you in your minds while we're going through the journey, but just pay attention to how you feel. What are the things that you're noticing around senses or your medicines? When do you pick it up? Don't be in your head about it. So I didn't just, I don't want you up in your minds. I want you to be the experience of us being where we're being guided here. Right? So, and this, by the way, was going to be a really good time for you to kind of close your eyes and just be in the moment. Yeah, there you go. Let me just bring them in. Very warm greeting from Theos. As we take you through this journey, we're wanting you to find yourself in a comfort position and begin by focusing on your breath. And just start breathing in and out easily, effortlessly, almost as if you are allowing your breath to breathe you. And as you sink further and further, deeper and deeper within, as you become calmer, more serene, more peaceful, know that this is in you. Sacred space within which you get to go inwards, releasing all of the outside world, leaving it all behind, with the intention of having greater peace, greater joy, greater clarity, and greater understanding. And so make your primary intention to be that of direct communication and connection with your inner guidance. The all-knowing, wiser part of you, the innermost part of who you are. It is the essence and core of who you are. It is the part of you which is always looking out for the best, the highest. Always calling you toward what is good for you. Inner guidance, your higher self, non-physical energy loves you beyond all measure. And as you set your intention to make direct contact with this inner guidance, your divine self, understand as you do, you're able to make gifts available to you. Your inner guidance hears your every request, your every desire. It is always responding in a way that is for your ultimate and highest possible good. And so continue to breathe in and out easily and effortlessly. As you go deeper and deeper within. And in this moment, imagine the energy and the efforts of your inner guidance as a beautiful shimmering beam of light. And sense that beam of light as it moves down from the top of your head, through your body, down the middle of your being, through your torso, out through your toes. Beautiful, shimmering beam of light. And the more you become aware of it, the brighter it becomes. And as you gaze your attention upon it, understand this is light, love. The ability to bring clarity and understanding. It has always been within you. Becoming open to the energy, the guidance that is always there for you. You are becoming an open channel to it. This beautiful, shimmering beam of light. This of your inner guidance. It is who you are. And now imagine yourself blending and merging with the energy of your inner guidance, the love that you are. And allow it to absorb the fullness of you as you are relaxing into it, immersing with it. There is a newer, higher level of love and light coming through to you now. Greater harmony, greater peace. As you're beginning to unfold this consciousness within you, right in this moment, always as you ask for it. Embodying the quality of spiritual connection and power within you. Understanding there is nothing that can have power over that energy of you. Source energy, all that you extension of source energy, beautiful light beings that you are. Nothing can have power over that. There's nothing to fight. There's nothing to resist. Your source energy, inner guidance, is the only power there is, your source. It is who you are. Ask for the understanding to become awakened within you, and to deepen the awareness that there is nothing in your world that can have power over you. And notice the beam of light becoming even more intense. You begin to wake up to who you really are. To begin to understand your own true self, your own true identity. And notice to universal mind, to the ability to connect with all of creative intelligence. And you get to ask. We encourage you to always ask for that which is wanted. Ask for more. Ask for the creative. Ask for the infinite intelligence within you. Ask for new ways of speaking. Imagine the changes in your life as a result of these qualities. Understand that there is something coming together with you. And imagine the light again within you. It has grown in so many ways, become more stable. Perhaps there's a limits, no boundaries as it's beginning to smooth out energetically as you become one with light. And ask your inner guidance to help you know yourself more fully, to be able to maintain this awareness of the fullness of who you are. Magnificent being that you are. From that perspective, look at your life and see your life from this perspective rather than through your limited physical conscious awareness, your personality's awareness. Ask for the clarity. Ask for the understanding. Ask for more confidence, more peace, more certainty, more stability, and receive. Receive the consciousness from your inner guidance. It is your inner guidance gift to you. Understand that this is light, it is love. And sense that as it comes through to you. Notice the feelings that come along with it. How would your life be different as a result? You are asked, what is it that you're willing to let go of? Ask your inner guidance to help with that release. There is nothing you cannot ask for. You are supported fully in all ways. Ask for the assistance in letting go of any limiting beliefs, any past regrets. Be open to the love through your inner guidance, the love that is you. And be open to accepting and embracing yourself fully. And as you do, imagine this light that's radiating through you, all of the negative energies flowing out, dissolving, falling away, all the old filters no longer serving you, falling away. As your inner light begins to shine even brighter. And so ask the assistance. Allow your light to shine bright. There are no limits. There are no limits to you. Magnificent being you are. You are love. You are light. You are of infinite intelligence. And so ask your inner guidance to help you remember who you really are, to feel the inner core of you, to allow your courage, your confidence to come through this connection. And we want you to know you are remembering, you are waking up, you are beginning to remember even more fully. Over time, you will remember who you are. Your inner guidance is always calling you towards that which will to be born within you. It is never ever holding back anything. And so if we will be open to receive gifts that are being given. And now, feel the beautiful bright light, the shimmering beam of light that is you. Feel beauty within it. Feel the sureness within it. Feel the clarity. Knowing you have it flowing into you and through you. Always. And now, find yourself back in this time, space, physical earth reality. We will infuse you with our love, magnificent being that you are. And now, we will leave you. Welcome back. I want you to enjoy the energy of the journey. Stay in the energy for as long as you like. Also, notice any sensations, feelings that as a result. Notice how you went into the journey, did the journey, what came up. Is there any visually or emotionally? And it's always reaching out. It's always sending love. It's always sending us wisdom, answers, the inner guidance. So enjoy the rest of your day. If you have any questions, feel free to post those here in the comments below. I will be coming back and checking on comments and responding to all of you. I so appreciate you being here on day 1 of our 4-part series, Soaring with Spirit. Thank you so much for coming and playing with me. It means a lot to me as well. And in the meantime, have an amazing rest of your day, and we'll be right back here tomorrow, same time, same channel. And there's more, so much more to come. Big, big heart hug. Lots of love. Bye for now.